It is a faux side step. So it says Silent Night, Holy Night. This is a stamp from Peace to You. It took me about 9 passes through the ink and stamping process in order to get this nice and dark and solid behind. So yeah, it was a lot of work, but we got it. And then on the back, I embossed in gold, hoping your Christmas shines bright with the love of family and friends. And that's where you could sign it because there's really no place to sign it on the front. I was thinking maybe you could put a luminary back there, a little tea light candle, but yeah, I don't think there's enough room. And you would have to poke holes in that for that to kind of shine out. But anyway, that's what that is. So the pieces for this card, I'm going to try to go up just a hair to get more of the playing field in the camera. I got a new modem and router, and my old camera would not hook up to the new router. So I have interesting new things to try. All right, so there's not too many pieces from this for this card, but it does come with a black card base that measures 8 inches by 5.5, and it's scored at 1, 2, and 5. All right. So to make this card, this is going to be the stander-upper here, this part right here. And you can't see that. That would be this part right here, is this along here. And so this one is going to fold up. And this one would fold down. And then simply put the DSP, and that your DSP piece is going to measure 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. And believe me, it will look so much more pretty with that on, but all right, so I have the Silent Night, Holy Night stamp, and we're going to stamp that in black memento on this strip, which measures 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4. And I'm going to stamp it over to the right, about 1/4 inch from the end. Not too shabby. Okay. And then that gets glued here. But what we're going to do before we actually glue it down is hold this piece up here and make sure that we have enough room. For some reason we didn't if we stamped it too far over, this is going to not look centered. But this one looks pretty good. So we're just going to attach this. That will go so that it is right side up, centered in that space. All right. And this is our gold foil. It measures 2 3/4 by 4. And it gets placed on this black piece. And this black piece is your faux side step portion. And it is a piece that measures 6 inches by 3 inches. And it is scored, if you do it the short way, it's scored at 1 3/4. If you do it this way, it's scored at 4 1/4. It's kind of easy to remember the 4 1/4. That's the normal center of our standard card bases. Okay. And that gets centered on here. It gets centered, but that didn't get centered very well. So let me try again. There we go. Alrighty. And so let me kind of give you an idea of how this stamps. It's one of those very flat surface stamp. I think they call it a impressive stamp or something like that. Anyway, when you put the ink on here, and if you're wondering what these are what they call Misty corners, and they are from my Misty, but what they do is help me get that paper away from the hinge so that I get a better coverage, because the stamp is hard enough to stamp. And this is just a freshly inked stamp too. So, I mean, stamp pad. So you'll see when we go to put this over how it comes out. And I'm pressing pretty good. And we'll have to press over here because that didn't come out. Okay, so that's better, but you know, that doesn't look very nice to me. So, you know, I would do it over and over and over again until it got like this. And like I said, it took about 6 or 8 times. This piece, you could put this in your cutter. However, since they're straight lines, it's pretty easy to just line up your scissors with whatever kind of border you want it to have. I'm thinking about 1/8 of an inch, and I use long scissors so I can do the whole cut in one. And you'll see I didn't quite get that straight, so we'll try again. That's a little better. And then this side. Side. This stamp set also has a little church in the woods, which is cute. So if you didn't want such a religious stamp, you could use that one too. That would look real nice with the same kind of card. And you could change up your colors and use red and green and change your DSP a little bit. Okay, so that's all there is to trimming that. Recycle bin down there. And this just gets centered on this front piece like so. You can use Tombow if you like, but when you're using foil, it's hard to get Tombow off of it if you accidentally make a drip. So I would suggest using tear and tape or your tape runner. And then I'm going to center this top and bottom and side to side as best I can to make it look pleasing anyway. I think that looks pretty good. All right, and then to put it together, we just have we're going to put some glue on the inside of this piece and the inside of this piece. And like I say, you can use Tombow if you want. You could also use your tape runner. All right. Now on this little portion, you don't want to go too far down because you don't have that much of an overlap. So what you want to do is line this up so that it is even with the left side of your card. And press down here. And then just close your card over. All right. There. And then I have a piece that I embossed with gold. It says, hoping your Christmas shines bright with the love of family and friends. And you could put a more religious sentiment on there if you want. This piece also measures 2 3/4 by 4, and it is going to get mounted back here with an even border around for your sentiment. And if I can find the embossing buddy, there it is. Run this up real quick. And stamp. Did I even open that? I don't think I did. Okay, I'm going to center this and hopefully get it as straight as I can. And then close that up and put that away. That away. And I need a piece of scratch paper of sorts. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little gold embossing powder on there. Dump this back in. That's where the fun begins. Hey, I did it. And I have one more plugging in place here for my heat tool. If your paper starts to curl, you can do this from the back side. Also, if you do it from the back side, your embossing powder won't fly away on you. But you do have a tendency to, I can't do it that way. Can't do that way under the camera. Do have a tendency to burn the back of your paper when you do it because you can't see. All right, there we go. I didn't get that quite centered, but for demonstrator purposes, we'll just place this on the back of our card over the top of that piece, connection piece, so that kind of hides that a little bit. And there we go. There you are. And you will get that real nice, pretty DSP on there, which is coming today sometime. Card number 1. Easy peasy. That's called a faux sidestep. Now for card number 2, shoot, I got these all organized in little baskets here, hopefully. For this one, I have this Merry Christmas sentiment from one of these Christmas sets. Oh, of course, it's the one on the bottom of the pile. No, it isn't. Well, not sure. This looks like it, but it's not it. The only other stamp set I don't have sitting out here on the table, I suppose. Very best occasions, perhaps. I don't know. It's one of the current stamp sets. I'll have to look that up and give you that information in a little bit. This is called a twisted ribbon card. We've done one of these before several years ago, but I thought at Christmas time it just looked really pretty. I just saw this one, and I don't know if you can tell, but I have a little wink of Stella. Yeah, see that wink of Stella on the poinsettia there, just for a little bling. And it says inside, may knowing Christ bring you peace for today, hope for tomorrow, and joy in every season. And that sentiment is definitely from Hope and Peace. And that's where the other Merry Christmas is from as well. There it is. Couldn't find it, but there it is. that back into its special basket. And so we'll open up the kit and you'll have, I think, 16 pieces of strips of paper. You'll have a background layer that's, and I didn't pay too much attention. Some of these are going to be green on red, and some of them are going to be red on green. It's the same colors, red and green, but I didn't pay too much attention as to who got what color and all that kind of thing. So you may have the opposite matting, but it will look just as nice. So these are 2.5 by 5.5. And this one is 2.25 by 5.5. So let's just mount those up together. Yeah, this way. This is this is where your ribbon is going to set. I'm going to get these go from edge to edge. So you'll want to make sure that you get them centered. Right. And then when you're laying out these pieces, and I have to look at my pattern in order to see it. I have a piece of white cardstock in here that has been scored, and it measures 5.5 by 2, and it's scored every inch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the last piece is only, last piece is a short piece. It's only 1/2 inch. I need to erase that off. That's goo on the center up here. There we go. Okay, so this is one pattern. So it goes red, green, red, green. And we're going to do like the solid nondescript patterns first. Red, green, red, green. It's kind of an olive kind of green. And one more, red. And there should be one more green. Yep. Okay, so that's 6 pieces, and then there'll be pieces of pieces that you can use for the rest. All right, so don't be confused, because the back side of this sort of nondescript red piece is the piece that you'll use on the other side. It's got poinsettias on one side and like little polka dots on the other side. So we'll start by putting down our red piece. And it starts by putting the right hand corner to the left hand corner of the card. So the right hand corner of your strip to the left side of the card, and the angle will meet up at that first score line. I don't know if you can see the score line. Here's the score line. So I'm going to match that up like so and glue it down. And it's just alternating red and green all the way down. So up to the corner of the card, make sure all of your white paper is covered up on that corner. And then to this first score line right here. All right. Then take a green one. And you're just going to work your way down. That goes, of course, from the second score line to the first score line down to the second score line over here. And that's the angle you want to achieve. If you have them and it looks more steep of an angle, your number one, your paper won't fit all the way across, and number two, it will look strange. So once you get the first one started, it's pretty easy to line them up. And you're going by the top edge is what's going to meet the score line on either side. So don't worry about the bottom edge, worry about the top edge, making it from score line to score line. And one more of this nondescript red. Then up here at the top, you need to put a piece of green that goes from that. You just kind of have to eyeball up your, it goes from the corner, but you want to maintain that same angle. I'm not answering my phone, folks. So whoever, if you're calling me, I just can't. It never fears when you go online that you get all kinds of phone calls. So I'm just covering up this corner and keeping the same angle. So it will basically go to the middle of the card. So if you line that up over here, you're going to go up to the 1 inch mark, from the corner to the 1 inch mark.
Robin, you're off screen.
Right.
There you go.
I had my went off screen because I was getting sticky. Here we'll go this way. Put this last piece on here. It's going to be a stink pot and not go on the way I want it. All right, so
The way it always happens.
yep. Okay, and then when you cut this piece off, you'll have enough to put the other piece on the bottom. So we're going to go around here and trim this off. And then you'll still have sticky on it. So it will be enough to, oops, line this one up. And you just line up the angle to the top of the card. And
Easier said than done.
Barbara, you finally made it in, huh?
On my phone.
Ah, my goodness. Okay, and that one you could save for something else if you wanted to. So the next thing I'm going to do is to trim these all off so they don't get confused with the next set. And once you have these on, you can see where the crisscross will happen, and it's a lot easier to figure the plan out. You will have a little template in your kit. Okay, then on top of these are going to go the not so nondescript ones. And I'm going to start with the green, and I'm going to go top of the green down to, so you're just going to match up this corner of the green to that corner of the green. So that's how that will go across. All right, and we're just rotating these between the green and the red all the way down, and I'm matching corners to corners here.
Mhm.
Uh-oh. That was the end of that roll. Ready to go. Okay, where were we? We're on the green one here. Okay. And then the last one is red on the bottom, red on the top. So your pattern paper is the top layer. So now on this one, just match up the edge of your paper with the center of the green one that's on there. Oops, got a lot of extra trash on the table. And then we're going to cut these all off. You could put this in your paper trimmer, but I don't like to get my paper trimmer this sticky. All right, so there's that piece that we can use for the top. And again, we're just matching the corner and the corner. All right. And cutting off all the excess. Okay, and that's the ribbon, twisted ribbon feature. That's pretty much the hardest part of the whole card. There we go. All right. And you might have a few extra of these pieces, but a few more than enough is better than not enough. All right, and then that gets, oh, this didn't get straight. So try again here. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I get it wrong. There we go. And then this piece goes right in the center of those two pieces. Okay. And then you'll want to make sure that they match up. If they're a hair off, you may need to trim a little. It's that parallax kind of thing when you're cutting, you know, when you're on the line. If you turn your head one way, your line's going to get bigger than the other. So all right, so then we're going to put that feature off to the side while we work on the inside sentiment, which is going to be, it's may knowing Christ bring peace for you today, hope for tomorrow, and joy in every season. Take that plate off. We're going to take these corners off. Trying to get my stamp apparatus ready here. Okay. And let's see if I have you lined up right. Absolutely not, because the last card we do also needs the same stamp. All right, so put it right here. And make it look straight. And then when I pick it up here, I will turn it over on the back side and make sure that the bottom of my phrases all line up properly with the grid lines. That looks fairly straight. I'm going to stamp that with real red. Looks good. Avalanche. Ready? So that's the inside. And now the outside. All righty. So we have this feature here. That video seems a little blurry. Maybe I'm moving too fast. I think this is about 3/4 or 3/8 to a 1/2 inch away from the edge of the fold over here. Doesn't quite look like I got it. Boy, I'm a half a bubble off today. Go. Then you'll have a stitched circle in your kit, and you will need to stamp that with Merry Christmas in real red. I put it a little bit lower so that probably the Merry portion of the stamp is going through. Yeah, it's a little bit lower than center as well. But anyway, you get what I mean. You want to put that in the lower portion of the circle. And then this is a flower from the Boughs of Holly Designer Series paper. I thought for sure there was a die that cut this out, but it doesn't. So you'll have to fussy cut, and you'll either get a single large poinsettia like this or a double. They're both kind of the same size visually, but one is definitely a double flower and the other one is not. So you just go around, you know how to cut stuff out, I think. When you get to the detailed parts like berries and stuff, you can sort of go around them a little bit differently. Like here, I'm not going to go in between each one of those berries because they'll probably get torn off if I do that anyway. So these leaves are spiky, so it's pretty much straight lines. There is some curve to it, but it's easy to go in and over and up, and back, straight up, straight over and up.
Was it the same DSP you used for your your ribbons?
Yes, same DSP, and then it's the same DSP we used last month to make that fun fold elegant Christmas card. Do you remember that one with the pine boughs?
Yes.
So it's
I
that
did make
same
the-
paper. So if you've already have that paper,
I do not. But I did make that card.
that's all from the same stamp set. I mean, same
DSP.
DSP pack. Almost done here. And I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this after I glue this all down here. All right, so that's that. I'm going to put some, what's that? Somebody said something.
Oh, I was yelling at the cat.
Ah,
He's being very annoying.
Wait, let me guess which one.
Actually, this time it's Julius.
Really?
Wafer sleeping quietly on the chair next to me.
all right. So I put this, I centered the diameter of this one right and left, right over this line here, just because. Give me something to line it up with. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of here. And some wink of Stella. Don't forget to wink at your wink of Stella. And here's wink of Stella. And I'm just going crazy over the poinsettias here. You can also do those little cherry bombs. I don't know what kind of berries those are if you want to do those. And you can put some on the leaves too. Why not just do the whole thing? Never too too much sparkle on a card in my
Absolutely.
opinion. Ooh, doesn't go in there. Put the glue lid on the Wink Estella. That doesn't work. Righty. Okay, and then you just decide how you want this one to go. I think that looks good like so. There you are. And if you want, you could put some rhinestones on here. I think it probably could use some. I guess this would have been my, if I wanted to pick this card apart, is that I didn't get this even. You see that one's misshapen and this one's misshapen, as opposed to this one that got, you know, perfect diamond shape. So
It happens.
yeah, it's because this one is down too far. Anyway. So those are those. That's your twisted ribbon card. Oh. So the next card. You want to go easy next or hard next?
Easy.
Easy? You'll save the hard one for last? Okay, I heard it.
It's up to you. You're the one doing it.
Well, you're not doing them, so you're watching. Okay, this one is super duper easy. Here it is.
Oh, that's the one you showed early the other day. That's really pretty.
Yeah.
Just elegant and simple.
It's using Dazzling Diamonds glimmer paper. Do you remember that from a couple years back?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's where the glimmer paper is coming from. If you want to make more of these, you'll have to use white basic cardstock and then put your Wink Estella all over there, or emboss it with some kind of glitter.
Okay.
If you want to continue to make them, because I only had enough of this glimmer paper to make you each a card. Okay, so the Peace on Earth is coming from
Hope and Peace.
Hope and Peace again.
Yep.
Oh boy. Okay. And
That
then
makes
the
it easy.
Inside Sentiment is the same one that we just used, and that was from
Hope and Peace.
Hope and Peace. All right, I also want to show you an alternate that you can do if you don't have Wink, or well, if you don't have the wherewithal to cut and emboss and whatnot. This one is just using the hybrid embossing folder, and that's where this feature comes. This embossing folder on here will emboss just like this around the outside. Then there is a set of dies that locks into, locks into the embossing folder so that you could emboss and then cut out at the same time.
And what is this embossing folder?
This is called the Mary Frames Hybrid Embossing Folder, and it comes with both the embossing folder and the dies together. What makes it a hybrid is that you can put these dies inside the embossing folder. So if I were wanting to emboss and cut out, I could do this two ways. I can put this, oops, let's get it to the right way. I can put this die. Well, you'd put your, well, I forget how that goes. How did I do this even? Okay. This is going to go like this. It kind of locks on there in a fashion. You'll feel it when it locks in. I did not have very good luck with that. It locks in really good over here on the one side. So what I did was I cut this piece out first, which is what you'll have in your kit. It's like this was not embossed yet. It was just flat. I cut that out first. And then I put that piece. Come on here. All right. Here's your kit. And I put this white piece into the embossing folder. Well, figure out, oh, this side, no wonder. This way. Oh my goodness, I'm embarrassed that I don't know how to do this now. There we go. All right, see, it's kind of locked in there. So your piece will lock in, then you close the folder and run it through. You always want to put your spine through first, and then it'll come out embossed. So I would say this piece is better to cut out if you're going to do the detailed cut. It's better to cut the detailed piece out first and then put it separately into the embossing folder and emboss. And I was told that by another demonstrator too. So she must have had the same or similar difficulty that I was having. So what I was trying to say on this one, I just ran this piece through the embossing folder, just the embossing, didn't do any cutting. Put Wink of Stella on the raised portions and put my sentiment in the middle. And then of course it has a, you know, sentiment on the inside as well. So to me, that looks very pleasing too. I didn't like it without the Wink of Stella. I didn't care for it at all, but with the Wink of Stella, that would be a very, very, very fast Christmas card.
So you're getting two, that way you get two cards out of one piece of cardstock.
Not necessarily, because we're going to put this on top of that cardstock.
But I'm just saying, you've got one piece of cardstock you've cut in half, and you've got both the.
Yes,
both
you could
types of cards.
do that. You could do
Is what I'm
that.
saying.
You could do that. You could attach it to whatever color you wanted in the background. Yeah.
Sure.
All right, so since this is glimmer paper, guess what? It doesn't like to glue down. So we kind of have to either put glue dots on here or Tombow. And I just go around, try to put some glue on all the little, and we're just tiny little dots of glue. I'm not going crazy here, except for maybe the inside, because we want it to stay down. And the way I liked this was with these two poly leaves pointing downward rather than, I don't know, can you see the difference between that and that? I like the shape of it going this way anyway. And it just fits on here. So it's glued down. you'll want to get that sentiment section square in and level with your card. Okay, and then I cut out a stitched,
Rectangle.
it's in the die set, a stitched rectangle. It's actually in the hybrid embossing folder die set.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's this one right here. So that would be the perfect size to fit inside of here. You don't even have to, you know, second guess yourself. So let's see, I stamped with Night of Navy because that's the color of the paper. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to leave it unstamped because I can't find the Night of Navy right now. And then I will just show you, you just glue that onto the front of the card. And you can either sponge daub around the edge or not. If you look on my YouTube videos, I show you a picture of what it looks like either way. I preferred the not sponged around the edge. But yeah, you just stamp this. This is from Hope and Peace. So you stamp that on the front. Then there's a separate piece for your inside sentiment, which is the same stamp that we just used on the other card. And that completes the card. So it's like glue, glue, stamp, stamp, 2 stamps, 2 glues, and you're done. 3 glues, 3 glues. 2 stamps and 3 glues. So you have to stamp the sentiment down. All right, any questions? Guys are quiet as mice in the church. Quiet as church mice. We better send in the kitties. Oh. I thought maybe I put Night of Navy in one of these other baskets. Oh, well. So much for being prepared. All right, so this last card. This is our fun wow card. At least I think it's a wow card. This is what it looks like. I get it out of its wrapper. So now this uses Forever Eden stamp set. Or no, it's is it for no, it's Eden's Garden stamp set. That's the flower we use right there. That's the only thing you use this stamp set for. The Merry Christmas on this one is from Brightest Glow right here. And the difference is this was printed in black on the other stamp and then script down here. This one is script up here and black down there. So you could use the same exact stamp for either one if you like. They're both just about the same size. And then the Eden dies. That's what we use. And what I did to make your kits was I cut one of these pieces in Evening Evergreen, Blackberry Bliss, and Gold. So that's what's in your kit. On the gold, you have pieces of this kind of cut out, but then you'll have in the green and Blackberry Bliss, you'll have one of these, one of these, one or two of these. And to do the front of the card, you need to cut just cut in different places. You'll see it, it's not all that difficult. But your die cuts will be in there. You just have to cut them up to make them fit. And then this is from the Scalloped Contours dies. It's the largest die in there. This is also from that die set, this gold frame. And then this white piece measures, I think it's an inch and a quarter by 2.5. Okay. And so you're just going to take your Evening Evergreen ink first. Put that over here. Boy, that's blingy. That card doesn't need any more flashy stuff added to it. You have your piece of, this is actually just a piece of scrap white cardstock. And this is the stamp from Eden's Garden. You see, it doesn't look very Christmassy right now, but this is one of those distinctive stamps. But this one actually stamps really easy. So it's not one of those that you have to stamp over and over and over again. But I do put some good pressure on it and hold it there for a while. Like Linda used to tell us, she counts to 10. And so then that's how it comes out. And to doll that up a little and make it look Christmassy, I'm going to take a cherry cobbler Stampin' Blend. You can also use your Stampin' Right markers, or you can use a blender pen and your ink pad. And I'm just going to color in the berries. I'm going to color them in so it looks a little more Christmassy. Now go the light touch, because this these inks leak through and they like to spread when they there. Okay, so that's pretty much our, oops, there's another one over here. There's 2 on that branch.
Let's see, how about the center of that big one?
Yeah, that's, the center is not supposed to be done.
Okay.
I didn't do it because it's not on the stamp, and I wanted it to look like a, you know, or make it look
Mhm.
round kind of thing, accent like. But whatever, if you want to color it in, that's fine. All right, and then I'm going to use Wink of Stella on here, and where I'm going to use it the most is on the darker sections. And you'll see that when you're doing Wink of Stella on this distinctive stamp, it actually makes it look shaded.
Yes.
So
can-
if you went all over the whole thing, you would get shading all over. So I only put Wink of Stella on the darkest spots. Maybe on the edges where they're dark, so it shows some definition. I don't know why. This is the only time I've ever seen that actually darken the ink. But it looks pretty, so.
It does.
And then of course we can put some on our berries. Then I colored in with Wink Stella there. And it isn't totally solid, but it just looks like an accent then. All right, then that's the easy part is done. The harder part would be to cut this out. There is no die for this. So we'll sing Jingle Bells or something here while I'm cutting. Almost done. Right.
Or silver bells. Silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time and the city.
Very good, Barbara.
Ringling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day.
All right, so I'm all the way around.
Yay!
Yay.
I can stop singing.
All right, so you have a piece of evening evergreen cardstock. And you have this piece of Forever Eden DSP, which is on sale in the clearance rack right now, if you want it.
And it's called what?
Forever Eden, I believe.
Okay.
The paper came with the Eden Garden bundle last year, but when we got the new catalog, it didn't carry over. So it's on the, I saw it on the clearance rack. So I can safely say that I bought about 4 packages of it. I think it's only $3 or something like that now. It's the specialty designer series paper. It might be 6. Anyway, it used to be 15, so it's a good savings. So this is just centered on the front. The next thing I have is this gold label. And I just centered it on the front and the bottom, at the bottom. Right here. Okay. Then I stamped on this piece, which is the piece that's 1¼ by 2½. I stamped the Merry Christmas, and I stamped it in Blackberry Bliss, which is the color that I use for the this foliage. This foliage right here is Blackberry Bliss colored.
Okay.
And the reason I didn't use Blackberry Bliss on this is because when you mixed it with the green, it looked almost black. So I used the light cherry cobbler on there, and then it comes out looking like the Blackberry Bliss without losing its definition. All right, so I'm going to stamp Merry Christmas right in the center. And then Blackberry Bliss, there we go. And we're going to leave that. Check and make sure it's dry before I turn it over to put glue on it. Some of these glues, like Night of Navy, does not like to dry very well down here. And I don't know if it's the paper or the humidity in my room, or I don't have trouble with most of the inks, but Night of Navy likes to play games with me. Okay, so the next thing I do is I want to lay out some of this foliage. And I put the dark green, the evening evergreen, in the background. And I wanted to have one of these kind of curved shapes going over in this general vicinity. So what I did was just snipped until I got it to kind of the way I liked it. And you snip out the pieces that look straight so that you don't, so it no longer looks like something is missing. And then you'll have to go through here. I don't think I got everything poked out for you either. So you'll have to, you may have to do some poking.
It'll make us work.
Yeah, you gotta do something. Okay, and so this is, I'm gonna have this kind of go up toward the top and curve over. And I am going to glue that down with some Tombow, just some dots of Tombow glue. You could cut this out with some, what do you call that stuff? Adhesive paper. Like, if you glue these so they stay on this green piece of paper, pretty much, and only put your ends about an inch away from this gold piece, this will cover up your connection. And if you need to, you can just go like this and hold it over there and see if it's going to be covered, whether you have to push it in a little farther or not. And then there was a piece like this. So I'm going to stick it kind of, I'm going to kind of, here's another piece that you just kind of, let me see, where do I want to trim this? You just kind of go for it, snip it off, and then kind of make it look right after you, after you cut it. Let's see, how did we do here? And if you don't like that piece, you know, can get another. Now this piece I want, nah, that's not the right piece. Here's the right piece. I definitely wanted one that had a little branchy look to it. And this, you know, this is all subjective. So just glue them on there till you think they look pretty. So I'll make you work creatively too. And there are some tiny little things you have to poke out on those too. Just watch for them. All right. You could put a glue dot on the back of this and have the ends loose, but I am kind of like leery of that for when they slide into the envelope. They kind of. All right, so I'm going to put this like over the Mary here, and then we'll know that this will cover. See? Okay, then this little piece here. And then pretty much, so you'll have a lot of this stuff extra. So you may be able to make another card if you play your cards right. Oh, what a bad pun that was.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna snip here. So where you snip on this one, you kind of have to round over the edge so it doesn't look like it's been snipped. I think you'll know what I mean. And then this one is gonna kind of go right here. There's no method to my madness. I just kind of am copying the one that worked out before. So when you get your picture of this, then you can decide whether that's the way you want to do it. Now, so that's all I need to put in there for the green. Unless you want to put more, you can put more. Now I need a couple pieces of the blackberry. So I am going to, this one over here wants to be kind of straight up. So I'm going to put this one right on top of that other one. Right on top. You could use a toothpick to add glue to your pieces. There. And let's see, we need this. There's two of these in here, but you probably only need to use one. And if you only got a piece of this wreath, you know, you've got plenty there to make the card. So, and then I'll go like that. And I think I am going to put a little piece of this over here. I didn't do that on the other one, but since everyone's got to look a little different, I'll play with it a little bit. And this is the only thing that's really hard about this thing is getting the pieces on there. So no panicking allowed. All right, so then you need your gold pieces. And like I said, I cut these off of one of these things that I cut in gold. And then this is the single piece that was there. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces there. And I have 3 pieces here. So let's go for it. Let's go down here with this one. Whoops, looks like I need another piece of that stuff. We'll just go crazy here. Deck the halls on your card. All right. Like so. And let's see what this looks like so far. Ooh. Okay, we're going good. Looks like we need some gold sticking out around here somewhere. Here. And I think I'm going to cut this piece in two. So we'll have gold here. And one more down here. Now, if it all works out right, when I put the dimensionals on the other thing, that thing should all come together. Right. Ooh, come on. All right, this is extra, 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 and dimensionals. So kind of work your way around in a circle, but come down and kind of try to frame that label a little bit. All right, I'm going to hold this up here and see which way I want this to go before I take the pieces off. I think kind of like that. Come over there, come over there. Right. All right, that's the front of the card. And then all you have to do is stamp your inside. And I did save a piece of gold for this one, but I have one of these extra, so I'm gonna maybe put a sprig, maybe these two together like this on the corner on the inside, just to bring the color from the front.
That would be pretty.
And then we have the sentiment for the inside was, may your days be happy, your heart be light, your Christmas be merry, and the new year bright. So I have that mounted up on here.
And where's that sentiment from?
That one is in Very Best Occasions. So it has two Christmas. This is sort of just seasonal. This is sending smiles. You're the best ever. Thinking of you with comfort and love is really pretty on a sympathy card. So I like that set. And we are going to stamp this in Blackberry Bliss. I think if you didn't have Blackberry, you probably could use Rich Razzleberry, but it would be a little bit more toward the red. And don't ask me why I picked the burgundy to go with it, but probably because that's the card I copied, had burgundy. Right. Sentiment. Oh, it's quite the stack. It's ready to avalanche on me over here. All right, so let's put a little glue on these and get it stuck in the corner. Oh, my cataracts are bothering me. Oh, there's a little pokey I didn't get. So go around and make sure they're all poked out there. That made a whole lot of difference. There. And if you don't have any of these pieces left, you can, cut into your wreath or any of these pieces that you're going to have left over.
Mhm.
Well, it's just easier to give you a whole piece than to try to cut the right size pieces for you because it's kind of subjective. You can cut it whatever way you like. And let's open this up. Make sure that's dry. Yep. Righty. Here we go. Here we are.
Very pretty.
It is very pretty. Very elegant.
Mhm.
Thank you. So that's your 4 cards for today.
Very nice.
So 2 pretty easy ones and 2 a little bit more complicated ones. All right, ladies. So
Very
thanks for
pretty.
coming. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging in. So thanks for coming. Next month is Christmas special projects. 3D items. I have 1 or 2 in mind already. So if somebody finds something that they would like to do, feel free to send me a little email with a picture and we'll see what we can do about bringing that up if you find something.